Hey up everyone, in today's video we're going to be talking about UFC 303 as it takes place on Saturday. Now this is a very unique idea, you don't see many people talking about UFC 303, I know I'm the only one to do so. So let me give you my thoughts on the card. Now overall, this is a really good card, man. I'm only going to talk about the fights I actually give a shit about. And the first fight on the card, I give a shit about. It's Ricky Simón taking on Vinicius Oliveira. What a fight to start off this pay-per-view. I don't think this should be the fight to kick off the card, but hey, I'm not going to argue with it. I feel like this should actually be on the prelims, possibly the main card. We'll get on to why later on. But yeah, Vinicius Oliveira taking on Ricky Simón. A very, very big fight for Vinicius Oliveira. Ricky Simón's been lingering in the bantamweight division for a while now. Quite a solid fighter, being in the rankings for a while. And this is a big opportunity for Vinicius Oliveira. He's got 20 wins and he's only been to decision twice. He has 3 losses and all 3 of those losses come by finish. He's been stopped. I think he's been knocked out twice and one of them was a doctor's stoppage. But a very exciting fight to kick off this pay-per-view. And I don't know how it's going to go. I think I'm going to go with my gut and go with Ricky Simón. I do like Ricky Simón. But I do think... I don't know. I'm just going to play it safe and go with Ricky Simón. I haven't seen enough of Vinicius Oliveira other than his great finish in his last fight where he got that brutal flying knee knockout finish. But I'm just going to play it safe and go with Ricky Simón. But it would be very entertaining if Vinicius Oliveira was able to keep on climbing the bantamweight division rankings and get a win over Ricky Simón. After this, we have a prospect fighting. That is Ray Tsuruta. Japanese prospect who's 22 years old, undefeated, 9-0. 4 of his wins by knockout, 4 of his wins by submission, and 1 win by decision. So, I don't know much about him. I'm very interested in watching him. Again, a prospect, undefeated, very, very young in the flyweight division. Feels like we've got a few prospects in that division now, and I can't wait to see how he gets on. I'll be honest with you, the rest of the early prelims, I don't really care about. You got Andrei Arlovski. He's about 500 now, taking on Martin Buday. Don't really care. Then you got Michelle Wharton-Gomez taking on Jillian Robertson. Feel like Jillian Robertson will win that one, but fight again, I don't really care about it.
Don't care. Don't care. Still don't care.
But then to kick off the prelims, we got a big prospect, and that is Peyton Talbot. A lot of people are very, very excited to see how far this guy can go in the UFC. A lot of them think he's the next big thing. I've seen plenty of TikTok edits of this guy. He looked amazing against Cameron Simon. Unbelievable. And he's taking on Yanis Ganamuri. Guys, I'm sorry with my pronunciations, but yeah, this one's another fight to keep an eye on. A big prospect with Peyton Talbot. I've already made a thumbnail for this guy. I'm looking to make a video on him. I was going to make it for this week. I'm actually thinking it might make more sense to make it if he has another great performance against Yanis. So, please, Peyton, please just, have a great performance. So then I have more of a reason to make that video. I put a bit of effort into the thumbnail, although it's still not the greatest. But I put a tiny bit of effort into it. So please just make a great performance, a standout performance. So, you get the hype going again and people talking about you. So that video could potentially bang for me. But I actually can't wait to see him in there. He looked amazing against Cameron Simon. And I can't wait to see what he does next. We also have Charles Jourdain on the card. And he's usually in some decent fights. We have Cub Swanson taking on Andre Philly. 2 veterans in the featherweight division. And to close out the prelims, we have Joe Pyfer taking on Marc-Andre Barriault. That should be a fucking banger, to be honest with you. And a great way to end the prelims. And then we get to a very solid main card. We start off this main card with Michael Venom Page taking on Ian Garry. Why this is kicking off the main card, I don't know. I know the UFC sometimes loves to put quite a marquee matchup as the start of the main card. They did it with Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler a few years back. I can't remember which card it was. But sometimes you like to do this. And this is a very interesting fight. I believe it's only 3 rounds. Would have been nice for a 5-round fight. But regardless, very interesting fight. I think I'm going to give it to Michael Venom Page. But it's quite a 50-50 one. But I'd see Michael Venom Page winning a decision. I feel like Ian Garry is going to struggle to have an answer for Michael Venom Page. Him being able to close the distance, being very... I don't know how to explain it. You don't know what you're getting with him. He's very unorthodox. He's great at closing distance. He's very fast. He's just hard to predict. And Ian Gary, I think he's quite hard to predict as well, and he's very fast as well, and he's a very good striker. But I don't know. I just give the edge to I give the Rated R Superstar the edge to Michael Venom Page in this one. The fight after. Why is this on the main card? Mayara Bueno Silva versus Macy Chiasson. Why is this on the main card? I don't think this is an awful fight. It just shouldn't be on the main card. How does this make any sense? There's so many other fights you should have on the main card over this fucking fight, in my opinion. The UFC have showed time and time again, they love putting prospects on the main card. So why not do that with like Vinicius Oliveira taking on Ricky Simone, where that's a banger of a fight, and you got a prospect in Vinicius Oliveira? Or why not do it with Peyton Talbot versus, I forgot his name, but you know what I mean? Like, why not do that? What? No one really cares about this fight. It's kind of a nothing fight. You know, it's not bad. It just shouldn't be on the main card, in my opinion. After this, we have Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze. We know the score when it comes to the cancellation of fights. At first, you had Jamal Hill taking on Khalil Roundtree as the co-main event. And then Khalil Roundtree pulled out. So we had Jamal Hill versus Carlos Ulberg. And then we had Jamal Hill pull out. So then we had Carlos Ulberg taking on Anthony Smith. So then we had Carlos Ulberg pull out. So then UFC were thinking, oh fuck, what are we going to do? And they've pulled together Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze on a week's notice. Not the best of fights, but for a week's notice and how many cancellations have happened, it's just whatever, I suppose. I think Anthony Smith's going to win this one. I don't really rate Roman Dolidze that much. I don't rate Anthony Smith that much, but being in the light heavyweight division, him having a bit of a longer training camp, I just think that Anthony Smith is a safer bet for this fight. We then move on to the co-main. Holy banger! Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. Woof! This is unreal. This is insane. And I'm going all aboard that Diego Lopez hype train. I don't know what it is. I just can't wait for this fight. I think this is going to be the best fight of the night. You know, it's either going to be a quick stoppage or an absolute war. The scramble is going to be insane. The stand-up's going to be insane. Well, I don't know if Diego Lopez is durable, but I know that Brian Ortega is very, very, very durable. He's like Wolverine, you know? I know Brian Ortega can win this one. I'm going with Diego Lopez, man. I've got to go with Diego Lopez. I'm all aboard that hype train, and I really want to get it done, and put himself in that title spot contention. And Brian Ortega's talked about moving up to the lightweight division. So, you know, he loses his fight, moves up to lightweight, and tries out the water in the lightweight division. I think that works out best for everyone, in my opinion. After this, we have the main event. We have Shama, Alex Pereira taking on the Samurai Yuri Prohaska in a rematch. I can't wait for this fight. It's a great little fucking... I actually think it's an upgrade over McGregor and Chandler. Not saying that McGregor and Chandler's a bad fight. And I do love the McGregor fight week. But Pereira and Yuri Prohaska, what a fucking fight, man. I can't wait for this. And I actually think people aren't giving Yuri Prohaska enough credit. I really think he can get the job done against Alex Pereira. He was having... If I rewatch that fight back between the two, he was having a lot of success. The first round, other than the leg kicks, which won Alex Pereira the round, it was all Yuri Prohaska who was landing straight shots. He got the takedown and was doing well with the grappling. The second round, he was having a lot more success, but he just got reckless. And he saw that he was backing Alex Pereira up, was running forward with straight shots, and got caught. And I feel like he won't do that same mistake in the second fight. But then, I do think he can do a lot better in this rematch. The only doubt I really have is that Yuri's not got the best of the defense. You know, we saw it in the Rakic fight, and in the Rakic fight, he took a lot of damage. Yes, Rakic didn't stop him, but he dished out a lot of damage, and Yuri took a lot of damage in that fight. Whereas Alex Pereira, he just got, well, it was light work for him against Jamal Hill. He didn't really take any damage. So, you know, Pereira's quite fresh. He hasn't taken any damage, whereas Yuri Prohaska, that's not the case. I'm very interested in this fight. It's going to be an absolute fucking war. This or the co-main is going to be the best fight on the entire card, in my opinion. Ricky Simone and Vinicius Oliveira is up there as an honourable mention, but the co-main and main is the big bulk. It's the dessert. It's the grand finale of this card, and I understand why, and I can't wait for these two fights, man. I'm going to predict Alex Pereira, but I don't think it's going to be easy in the slightest. But what do you guys think about this card? Do you agree with some of my predictions? What are your predictions for some of these fights? What are the fights you're looking forward to the most? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.